Next, I wanted to talk about what I call signal aggregation platforms. Think of these as almost like the next generation of sales intelligence. We'll talk about the AI BDRs and like the almost autopilot ways next, but this is almost like a key co-pilot. So what these signal aggregation platforms do is they aggregate signals both at the account level and the contact level. They help companies prioritize and score the signals based on the combination of them, as well as the ICP information that you provide them to allow kind of precise targeting and understanding kind of a higher probability or propensity to buy or at least engage with you. Some provide native identity resolution at the contact or account level, such as, who's visiting my website. This is particularly useful in the US, or, what account is comparing solutions on G2. Also, what's really interesting here is the waterfall enrichment that's been going on. So, by leveraging some of these platforms, instead of having two or managing multiple different data providers, leveraging their waterfall enrichment to get accurate contact information, using the signals, the aggregated signals most pertinently to help assist in personalizing the outreach so you can speak your buyer's language. Again, and then, lastly, what kind of a differentiator among these solutions is they help automate workflows for outreach engagement. Some do this natively, such as like Unify. So you don't need another product to push those automated outbound sequences. Some do it through integrations, Common Room, Clay, et cetera. So you might still need a sales engagement platform to help kind of execute those. And the intelligence is given here. So that's kind of something to look out for, depending on what tool stack you're using now, what signals are most important to you. There's a plethora of signals, and I would really encourage you all to learn about what first, second, or third party signals might be most relevant or successful to your business, whether that's people changing jobs, people raising funds, insights from an earnings call or 10K. Maybe they've identified strategic priorities that your solution might be a good fit for. Job openings, where are they hiring? Where are they looking to grow their business? Leadership changes. We all know that when new C-suite comes in, that like the first 3 to 6 months is when they're going to consider changing tech. So when there's new leadership there, that might be a good kind of avenue to engage to see if what they're kind of considering, what tech stack they're using, what they're advertising in their job postings in terms of what tech they're using is all kind of great information to help you speak the prospect's language. And what a lot of these solutions do, which I think is kind of so critical or a great use case of generative AI, is account research. So instead of reps trying to scrape the web manually in between calls, many of these tools provide account and contact level research. So you can kind of speak the buyer's language instead of generic sales lingo and sending them an email saying like, oh, do you want to grow your sales by 50%? Well, a lot of customers have had success using our product doing that. Everybody wants to grow sales by 50%, right? So, speak their language. What are they talking about on LinkedIn? What are their bosses talking about on LinkedIn? Because even if they're not talking about it, if their bosses are, I'm sure they're going to be worried and focus on that as well. So really, again, speaking their language and solving their problems, I think now with it being a buyer-led sales journey, it's really important to almost be a companion in their journey rather than a aggressive seller just trying to, feature sell. You really need to be a value seller. I would also say ensure these tools can be integrated with your CRM, can continuously enrich your data and have bidirectional sync. A lot of these tools do this. There are also additional tools such as like full enrich, which will do the enrichment itself as well. But it's really imperative that the more context and information you can have around your prospect, almost like painting a picture with different flavors, the better you can engage with your prospect, which in turn is going to help resonate with them. It's going to be able to it's going to be able to have you tell your prospects a better story about how you can solve their problems, and then in turn it's going to close deals. I would say this is one of the hottest topics in B2B sales right now. We're seeing kind of a top-down and a bottoms-up approach from vendors entering into this space. You have incumbents from like traditional sales intelligence, like ZoomInfo, Apollo venturing into it, even incumbents from the ABM space, Sixth Sense and Demand Base, trying to do that whole kind of full-fledged ABM motion, as well as the new challenger players that you can see here. But again, my one kind of key consideration here would be trying to identify what signals would work for you. If you have a website that's heavily trafficked, maybe you just need a website identity visitor identification tool like RB2B. Do you have a large network and people have used your solutions or trust you in the past and maybe are job switching? Champifying user gems help kind of track those jobs. Or if you're looking for more holistic, kind of a lot of the tools on the top half of that graph on the right help kind of combine various signals. So I think it's best to use a combination of signals, but for early age startups, perhaps identifying one that works well and kind of scaling from there in terms of help kind of prioritizing.
Hey, Blue, a question on this category. Do you have any recommendations or things that you noticed that will help someone determine whether or not some of these platforms have the reach or the breadth of data that is pertinent to their markets, as well as the level of accuracy of data that they have?
Yeah, great question. I think to first talk about the level of accuracy, I think what's really interesting about this is the waterfall enrichment. So as you can see, like the traditional sales intelligence players are venturing into this space. They are, everybody says they're 99% data accuracy. Hot news, nobody's 99% accurate in their data. And if they were today, then they won't be tomorrow, because that's how quick these things change. So what's really interesting is these new players that are aggregating data providers from various sources. So instead of being 100% reliant on one data provider, like some of these incumbents might be, kind of unifying various ones. So I use phone ready leads for my phone data. I use ZoomInfo for my email data. Kind of stacking those up is kind of a great way. Also, in terms of identifying the accuracy and availability, on G2, we ask feature questions to reviewers, and in sales intelligence, email and phone, technographic, all those are questions asked in terms of the availability as well as the accuracy. So go to G2, compare the different solutions and see how those features are rated against each other, I would say is a great starting point.
Cool. Thank you.